Two babies spent their first year in very different homes. One home was busy, music playing, colorful mobiles spinning, a screen nearby, constant narration from well-meaning adults. The other home was quieter, less stuff, more pauses. By age 2, the quieter baby had stronger attention, calmer emotional regulation, and fell asleep faster at night. The difference wasn't toys. It wasn't money. It came down to one thing most parents never hear about: the hidden cost of too much, too soon. And the hardest part? Almost everything we think stimulates babies in a good way. The light-up gyms, the background cartoons, the non-stop talking can actually work against them. Today we're breaking down 5 ways this quietly happens and what to do instead. Stay until number 4, because that one is the most common and the most surprising. Number 1. Background noise. You don't even notice anymore. Picture a typical Tuesday morning. The TV is on in the living room. Not because anyone's watching, just on. Your baby is on their playmat, reaching for a rattle, and you're making coffee. It feels calm. It feels normal. But here's what's happening in your baby's brain. Dr. Ann Fernald at Stanford University studied how background television affects language processing in infants. Her team found that even when babies weren't watching the screen, the presence of TV audio significantly reduced the number of meaningful word interactions between parents and babies. And it disrupted the baby's ability to process the words they did hear. The brain is working overtime, trying to filter, and infants haven't developed that filter yet. This doesn't mean you've damaged anything. One of a million morning routines doesn't undo your baby's development. It just means the background hum you've stopped noticing, your baby hasn't. Number 2, too much eye contact and social pressure. This one surprises parents the most. We're told, engage, connect, talk to your baby, and that's absolutely true. But there's a difference between responsive engagement and constant performance. Dr. Lynn Murray at the University of Reading spent years filming mother-infant interactions and found that babies have a natural rhythm of engagement and withdrawal. They look, they connect, and then they need to look away. That looking away moment is not rejection. It's regulation. The baby is processing what just happened. When a parent chases that gaze, leaning back in, making sounds, trying to recapture the connection, it can tip a baby into overwhelm. The face becomes too much, not enough. Signs of this? Fussiness that comes out of nowhere during what felt like a happy interaction, arching away, or suddenly going very still. You're not doing anything wrong when you reach for connection. The awareness is just this. When your baby looks away, follow their lead and give them a breath. Number 3, sensory overload in educational products. Walk into any baby store and you'll find products with 12 functions: lights, sounds, songs in 3 languages, spinning parts, crinkle textures, and a mirror. The idea being more input, more learning. Dr. Dimitri Christakis at the University of Washington has studied infant attention and media for decades. His research found that the fast-paced, highly stimulating content, even content designed for babies, can shorten attention spans and increase fussiness rather than build focus. The infant brain learns best through slow, contingent interaction. Something happens, the baby responds, you respond back. When stimulation is automatic and non-responsive, the brain gets input without meaning. And here's what this isn't. It's not a failure if you've used these products. Every parent has. This is awareness, not another thing to get right. Number 4, talking at your baby instead of waiting. This is the most common one, and it's rooted in the best intentions. We know narrating the world to babies builds language, so parents narrate constantly. Now we're putting on our socks. Here's the left sock. Here comes the right sock. Oh, you like your socks, don't you? These are blue socks. It goes on. Dr. Rachel Romeo at MIT and Harvard tracks something called conversational turns in children under 3. The back-and-forth exchanges where a baby babbles or reaches or makes a face, and an adult responds specifically to that signal. Her research found that conversational turns, not the sheer volume of words spoken to a baby, were the strongest predictor of later language development. Kids who had more turns, more actual exchanges, showed measurable differences in brain activity in language areas. What this means practically: a pause is not wasted time. It's an invitation. When your baby coos, wait. See what happens. The silence is where the conversation actually begins. Babies don't need a running commentary. They need a partner who notices them and responds. One missed cue doesn't matter. The pattern over time is what builds the neural architecture. The 3-step framework: notice, pause, follow. The whole thing comes down to 3 simple moves. First, notice the signal. Your baby is always communicating. A look away, a yawn mid-play, a sudden fuss during what seemed like a happy moment. These aren't random. They're data. Second, pause before you respond. Just one breath. This gives your baby space to keep communicating rather than being overtaken by adult energy. Third, follow. Don't lead. Respond to what they just did, not what you were planning to do next. If they reached for the soft block, name the block. If they looked at the window, go to the window. Notice, pause, follow. That's it. Number 5, rushed transitions. Going from bath to bottle to sleep in 15 minutes feels efficient. For a baby's nervous system, it's a lot. Dr. Megan Gunner at the University of Minnesota has spent years studying stress hormones in infants and found that the cortisol response, the baby's stress signal, is highly sensitive to pacing and predictability. Transitions are inherently activating. When they stack without buffer, the nervous system doesn't have time to downshift before the next thing begins. And babies who are already in an aroused state take significantly longer to fall asleep and wake more frequently at night. A 3-minute pause between bath and bottle, a slower, quieter transition into the sleep space. It sounds small. Research suggests it isn't. What no product can do. There are subscription apps right now that promise to track your baby's stimulation, send you alerts about developmental windows, and generate personalized activity plans. Some cost $40, $50 a month. Here's what an app cannot do. It cannot notice that your baby's eyes just went a little glassy and soften its voice in response. It cannot feel the weight of a baby who has had enough and shift them to a quieter position without being told. It cannot read the specific, unrepeatable signal your baby is sending right now, in this moment, and reply with warmth. Only you can do that, and you already are, more than you know. Close. We started with 2 babies. Same world, same love, from their parents. The difference wasn't effort. It was space. Overstimulation isn't caused by parents who don't care enough. It's caused by a world that tells caring parents to do more. More input, more products, more words, more engagement. When sometimes the most developmentally powerful thing you can do is go quiet for a moment and let your baby lead. Your baby doesn't need a perfect, curated environment. They need a face that looks back, a voice that waits, hands that know when to still. In those ordinary pauses, the ones that feel like nothing, something is being built that no app can replicate and no toy can replace. If this changed how you see the moments between the moments, consider subscribing. We put out new videos every week. And if this helped, a like goes a long way. See you in the next one. This channel is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical or psychological advice. Always consult a qualified professional regarding your child's development.